Um,
Greetings and salutations, friends. This is Mark, one of your hosts, and I'll have Daniel kick it off as we start off our live play session of Mutants and Masterminds.
Hey, you guys, welcome back. I am Daniel, the GM of our MCU Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition game. This game takes place right after Infinity War, but prior to Endgame. If you need a catch-up of everything, go back and find our feeds on YouTube and Twitch. But for now, after we go through the characters this week, I will go over a quick synopsis of what happened last time, just to catch some people up that are currently here. So we are going to start with my main man, Mark. Mark, who are you playing?
I am playing the Silver Surfer, who has come to Earth to warn them about Galactus coming to eat their planet.
Awesome. Awesome. We're going to go to Ray. Ray, who are you playing?
Alright, so I will be playing Cadus. He's a Gambit offshoot, similar abilities, same charisma style, but not quite the same.
Okay, and Rob. Rob, who are you playing?
I'm playing Kyle Branson. Basically, I'm a gadgeteer, but I got some pretty good luck with myself, and other people have pretty good luck when they're around me. I'm super smart, super rich, and I tend to follow my own set of rules. So it's your basic vanilla vigilante type.
All right. And we actually have, let me turn my camera back on. We actually have a future player. So I'm going to have him jump in real quick. But we have Ben on the line. He's going to be hanging out with us. Just say hi to the folks, Ben.
Hello. I will be here next time.
It kind of feels like somebody's watching me.
Kind of feels like, dang it, that's going to be stuck in my head. We also have some other players that may be popping in a little bit later, but we will see on that later. So, what has happened the last couple weeks, and I will be catching you up, Ben, over the next 2 weeks with everything that's happened to make sure that you're fully caught up. But our heroes, short of Kyle Branson, were on Genosha, a secret mutant utopia island in the Pacific. And they were tracking down a awakened, that was awakened by some of the cosmic power from a herald, a Galactus herald that was not Silver Surfer. Actually, why don't you go? Do you remember, Mark, what happened last time?
So we found, basically, Aeon had resurrected a mutant that died, and the power cosmic merged with the new mutant who was housing Aeon's power. as well. And there was Serge and I, Serge being a speedster who's not with us tonight, tried to stop him, and a giant blast of cosmic energy surged into fly, and I managed to turn it all into cotton candy. Surge whipped up a vortex and flocked all the trees of the forest with the cotton candy, and then it rained and melted most of it, and then I think we paused, and that's where the other story.
So I did a couple flashbacks. The energy had torn a rift in space, where there was like a reddish, bluish galaxy that you could see on the other side of the rift. And something had fallen out of the rift that the surfers was tracking as it fell, but then lost track of it until it went bloop into the ocean.
Yep.
And that's where we cut over to the other side, back at the Xavier Institute in one of their large safety testing bunkers. Kyle Branson and Rob, do you have her character sheet in front of you for her name? It's a very beautiful name, but I keep forgetting it.
Her name is Sonica.
And Sonia. And Sonia, call sign Shriek, right?
Called Shriek by her enemies.
Yeah. They were testing her powers in the underground vault safety centers, and the whole place shook because a empath something had been hit with a whammy that was kind of causing this fear to spread among all of the other test subjects. So they were able to nip that in the bud and take care of that end, and we will be fast forwarding from there a little bit when I come around to that spot for you, Rob. It looks like we actually have Surge back, so I'm going to jump to Surge real quick. Just so you know, Justin, we have to turn off our cameras so that other people can be seen on the mini screen on the Gamer's Edge screen. So what we're gonna have to be is off camera until we call your name, and then you'll come on camera and I'll go off, so we switch out. But Justin, why don't you go ahead and tell people who you're playing?
So I'm playing Surge, a speedster of sorts, and not chaotic good, a little silly, but I don't know, I figure like a Gambit level of humor, and even how you would imagine the speedster in Days of Future Past. That, I feel like that's kind of my character archetype. You know, that and spinning up a mountain tornado of cotton candy. It's all just good fun. But my biggest goal right now is trying to find Xavier and where he went.
Right.
Which was another thing that wasn't mentioned from even further back. Xavier is missing. So that was one of the reasons the group had come to Genosha to begin with, was to see if maybe Xavier was down on the hidden island. The cotton candy thing that has been mentioned a couple of times now, that's why this episode is named not produced by the producers or writers of Howard the Duck. So where we start, Silver Surfer, rising from the deeps of the water surrounding Genosha, holding in his hand a fist-sized cut gem that is vibrant pink purple like a magenta. Inside is a glowing, almost aurora borealis that is constantly shifting. While you don't... Nice, magenta. While you don't recognize it directly, you can sense that there is immense power inside this. inside this gem.
So I would not recognize it?
You do not recognize it.
All right.
Well, actually, that's unfair. This is a role-playing game. Let's roll for it.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Roll a 56 and you sense it.
How about a 10?
You do not recognize what this gem is.
This is
10 out of 10, Daniel. 10 out of 10.
This is the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. I am convinced of it.
It's not really crimson.
Panther was after?
Maybe
No.
the water washed away some of the crimson.
Yeah, maybe. But that's what it is. I'm positive. I've encountered this before in my travels. This is definitely the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. That means Earth is even more danger now because Dormammu is going to attempt to attack and get it back.
So I believe when last we left Surge, he was finishing up the cotton candy. Then there was a little bit of rain, which helped to get rid of the cotton candy. So what is Surge doing now with a Silver Surfer? Probably 100 yards off the coast. You're on mute, buddy.
Good question. Silver Surfer did the tornado thing and then had to take a bathroom break, and that was the last of the session.
So Silver. So there was the energy flew into the sky, opened a portal. Something dropped out of the portal.
Yeah, we terminated.
He went into the water and he found the gem. This fist-sized magenta gem that has a glowing stuff in it.
And I'm
I
literally
believe I was
saying
checking up with the medical facility to make sure that they didn't detect any anomalies on the island, more so than what we saw. Was there extra astronomical anomalies occurring elsewhere than where we just were?
So where are you
the
checking?
only point. I was checking with them and then checking with the black.
Please finish that
Panther.
sentence. So you're checking with Wakanda
and the island to see if there's any other anomalies that occurred at the same time, to make sure it was just us or if it was a multi-spread cosmic event.
So you rush up to the headquarters where you saw kind of some sciencey people working before, and they say that there was a huge anomaly, a rip in space-time over the island. It only occurred for less than 6 seconds, but they're not sure where it was, where the wormhole was attaching to. And then you'll head out to the hollow phone to call Wakanda. So I'll come back to you. So what are you doing, Silver Surfer?
Well, the first thing I'm doing is I literally say to him, this is the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. Earth is in even more danger now.
So he's actually talking to you, Serge.
Was drinking his non-sponsored bottle of water. This stream brought to you by H2O. You can provide H2O to the players by going to patreon.com/gamersledge, where you can become a patron. With being a patron, you can also one time a month submit a plot point. Did you know, too, that you, the viewer, can donate bits to add plot points to this plot point? You can also ask for us to have a reroll. You can even have the GM have a reroll. You can even have made that cotton candy into bacon. But you missed out because you didn't donate in time. Don't let that happen again. Don't not turn cotton candy into bacon. So the Crimson Jewel, huh? What says you that this is going to be dangerous for us?
Well, I'm almost positive that that's what this is, and Dormammu is a mystic entity that lives in another dimension that has long sought its power.
Dork Mondu? Dork Mountain Dew? Wait, what? Who?
Dormammu. Big guy, constantly on fire. Not a good look.
What do you... What about my mom? So this gem, can we box it and no one does it emit something that we can like hide?
Sadly, there is an immense amount of power inside of it. I'm afraid whoever wanted them to bring the crystal here probably already knows about it.
So they hid it. So is this not one of the Infinity Stones?
No, this is not an Infinity Stone. But it can be used for certain magical purposes.
Well, we should probably put it in the vault.
There's a vault?
There's always a vault.
Do you know of this vault?
We'll put it in Wakanda's vault.
Let's go talk to them on sat phone then.
Sounds like a plan.
And we go and do that.
Okay. So, you want to send it to the Wakandan vault?
No. Well, I mean, we're going to call them and ask, do you have a vault?
Yeah.
And
So you both arrive at the the installed hollow phone. I can't think of a better term for it right now. I will later. The hollow VTC. And you dial in, and you get through a couple different assistant levels before you get to Shuri, the current Black Panther and Queen of Wakanda.
So meet Queen of Wakanda. Please press 2 now.
She looks very, very tired or weary. You know, like worn.
How do we know it's her and not some intercepted signal?
It's her. These are very well encrypted.
Okay.
So, what do you guys say?
are you well, Princess Queen?
Yes. There are just things that I cannot discuss quite yet that are happening.
Well, I'm sorry to add to the load, but I believe we recovered something of great value that may be as powerful as an Infinity Stone. It was drawn here to Earth, and I'm afraid that Dormammu may not be long to follow.
Ooh. What if we shoot it to the sun?
That is a good question. Although I would be afraid of even sending something this powerful into the sun if it's something in the same league as the Infinity Stones.
But then you have to go into the sun to get it.
Which I would argue the Mad Titan would have no problem with.
Is there, by chance, a vault in Wakanda or anything you know of that might be able to contain it and keep it off of suppressing
Wait.
radiation?
Can't you turn matter into other things? Why can't you turn it into, like, bacon?
And remember, you too can turn matter into bacon with a donation at patreon.com. Sorry, now he's got me doing it. Damn it.
Kids show.
I could, except I think this is actually too much energy to do that. And it seems like there might be multiple realities contained inside of it.
If that's the case, how would we have anything that might contain that level of energy?
I thought it worth consulting you rather than just assuming. You have shown to be very resourceful.
Well, we could try. We could definitely try. How quickly could you get it here?
Top level question.
Yeah.
Do we know anybody from Asgardia?
No.
No.
Do we know anybody that isn't of Earth besides?
Did you say Asgardia?
Yeah, you know.
Hey,
That
the
just
planet's a
answered your own
female,
question.
okay?
You just answered your own question.
What was that? Yeah, Ray?
Hey,
Well,
if Asgard was a female, it'd be Asgardia. That's good.
Okay.
we don't. You're telling me we don't know anybody that isn't of Earth besides you?
Well, and the scrolls. You met the scrolls.
Yeah, so they've got transportation to put it away from here. And just fly it in the opposite direction.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're still top level, right? This is
Yeah.
still an out of character conversation. Yeah. You guys have met the scrolls, but I'm starting to feel like this might be a conversation better spent in character.
Okay. In character. Well, what about the space people? Why can't we have them just take it and fly it out of Earth?
Well, let me pose this question in another way to you. If you had an infinity gem, would you feel good about giving it to anybody else?
Fair enough. I would still like to throw into a sun and destroy it.
Justin, for this conversation, why don't you jump on the video?
I'd still want to destroy it. I don't think having the Infinity Stone, anybody having the Infinity Stone, is going to be able to handle that. Because with great power comes great responsibility. As we all know from the fortune cookie I read last night, that's something that we're going to have to deal with. And I don't think having that temptation here is going to make things better or the same now that we know it exists. It'd be like saying, hey, you've got a kilo of cocaine in your house. Now that you know about it, what are you going to do? I'm going to get rid of it.
Daniel.
Maybe that analogy didn't work, but
I don't know what this cocaine is you speak of, but I assume it's something powerful.
it's like the Pepsi of powdered substances.
The difference is that this is not matter purely, it's also energy, and you cannot destroy energy. So there could be ramifications if we attempt to destroy it that might.
But okay, so again, we can't destroy it. That being said, why would we want to have? Well, we already have one threat of Galactus coming and destroy our Earth. We're going to hold a second threat of Dormammu coming to our Earth. So let's just have two big targets coming to us rather than getting rid of at least one target.
Cadus, are you online?
That's in character.
Yeah, my shuttle's just landing. I just got my cell back. Hey, how you doing? I've been gone for a while. I heard there's some cotton candy around here.
There will be momentarily. I'll bring you some, but I'm gonna see if you can do something really stupid.
Well, if soup is what you want, I got you covered, my man.
I offer for Surge to get on my board if he wants to.
Oh, not a metaphysical board, but a physical board. Yeah, I get on the board.
Okay, and we're gonna fly at max speed and meet Cadus when his shuttle's touching down.
Okay.
And then we're gonna get. We still have those. Didn't we have like spacesuits?
Do note we're also still on the call with Wakanda.
Yes. Yes.
Well, you're not anymore since you left.
Right, we left, so we're not anymore.
No, you don't have spacesuits,
What do you
but
mean
you have
after we walk out of the room? I don't know what you're talking about. I think we should not be doing this. What do you mean I don't think we should be doing this? I don't know. I think that I don't.
You have a Quinjet that should be able to go in the atmosphere. That's essentially what the answer to that was. The Quinjet probably has some like emergency spacesuit stuff. Yeah.
All right, we put Cadus in a spacesuit, and
Just Cadus?
just Cadus, yes.
Sorry, sir.
Where do I turn in my character sheet?
So now, Cadus, do you actually have to physically touch something to charge it, or can you actually charge through other things? Like, can you charge something that's touching a wall and you be on the other side of the wall? Or do you have to charge the whole wall?
Well, I can only blow something up. I can only blow up I can touch. I'm a tactile kind of person, you know?
So, did Aeon ever recover? Out of character, did Aeon ever recover? Can we use him as a prop, or no?
No, he's currently in the hospital in a coma.
Okay. But does his power still work? Like, can we touch his hand to somebody and it heals them, or not anymore? Not really.
You can try.
Yeah, that's okay.
You don't want to know what you have to actually touch.
I don't know how to do this if he has to touch it. Never mind, this was a stupid idea. The only thing I can...
You could still try it.
Why is it a bad idea if he touches it?
Well, the problem is if he's in space and he has to touch it, either we have to, like, tear his...
Oh, no. He's fine. I thought you were literally using... His suit is enough of himself that he can use his power through a suit.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah,
like, is it like an iPhone that, you can...
I thought you were like...
If you put him in a box and put the box, like, on Mars, and he touches the box.
Yeah, that's right. I thought you were literally saying touch through a wall. No, he's fine touching through 3 layers of fabric.
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
So the goal is we're going to take Cadus into space with
be
the
on Earth.
crystal near the sun. God, I hope this doesn't supernova the sun. And we're going to have Cadus charge the Crimson Gem of Sidorak to try and destroy it. Because that's totally what this is and not the McCran Crystal. That is the gateway to multiple realities. Not at all. But it's a Crimson Gem of Sidorak, and that should work. So that's
I have to say, Mark, I appreciate you as a player that you lean so heavily into a critical failure.
Quick question.
You want me to blow up the rock?
next week's
I'll blow
episode?
up the rock. That's fine.
Yeah.
What was that?
Do I survive next week's episode?
Do you survive next week's episode?
He wants to know if he can throw himself off a ledge.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. No joke, freaking Mark. Okay, so that's the plan. You get Cadus. You also grab one of the spacesuits. Is Surge going to be in a spacesuit?
Is Surge going?
I've said several times I'm staying on Earth.
Okay.
So at this point in time, we would like to interject and offer up a poll to the viewers. If you wish for us to follow through with this insane idea, go ahead and say yay. If you completely disagree, say nay. And if we have enough nays by the time we get up to this point in the game, we will follow the viewer's choice.
To augment that, if you would like us to continue with this idea, vote with 1 bit. If you'd like us not to do this idea, vote with 1,000 bits.
I don't know if there's that many people watching.
I don't know either, but it doesn't matter.
Well, I'll tell you what. We do have one. We do have one observer.
What can I do?
Hey there, Ben.
We were going to ignore you for the rest of the entire game, but there you go. You're in it now.
Well,
you get the final say when we get there.
He's not a player yet, so Dan can't ignore him.
That's true. Not until he's a player. Actually, he might have stepped out. Go ahead with the plan.
Or we could roll dice, because this is a role-playing game.
Well, no. If Cadis and Surfer are good with the plan, then that's the plan. But they both have to be good with the plan.
I mean, Cadis, the only thing I don't know if you can blow this up, but if you are going to, I think you're going to have to put as much power as possible into it. And I will do my best to A, shield you from the blast because I can, and B, make sure we get out of there safely.
Alright, so let me get this straight. Just like last time you told me to turn something off and it kind of like blew up the world.
Alright.
This is your next plan. It's telling me to actually blow something up deliberately.
Actually, I said turn it off.
You're pretty...
Not destroy it. That was all you.
Did I earn a PhD and learn my lesson since last time out of character? Hey, Silver Dude, man. You tell me to blow up the rock, I will blow up the rock. If you think it's going to go kabooley, well, you better tell me how much kablooey it's going to do, because there's only a few seconds after I charge it that it goes kablooey.
I assume that I cannot... What happens if I try and transform it, Daniel? Anything? I mean, I imagine it just doesn't work.
It absorbs the energy you're trying to push into it.
That's what I thought. Okay.
As the Scarlet Crystal would.
Right, as the Crimson Gem Setter.
Crimson Gem would, yeah.
Yes. So, that may very well be the same thing when he tries to make it explode, but he can charge it. We'll have a couple seconds to get as far away as possible, and we'll see what happens. If nothing happens, we'll pick it back up. I'd actually be afraid to throw it into the sun for fear that it might actually absorb all of the energy of the sun.
Okay, as this is between both of you, why don't you go ahead and jump on the video?
Man, this suit makes me itch, by the way.
Better itchy than frozen in the depths of space.
Well, speaking as someone who's flying around naked and not wearing a suit.
My skin is my suit. Are you ready?
Who the hell is ever ready to fly up into space on a surfboard? Alright, let's do this.
Alright, so we fly up.
As Surge is watching from below, you guys disappear into the... you become a small point of darkness against the sky as you fly into space.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No.
Cadis, roll me a willpower save. As you've never been this high, and your heart is starting to beat super fast because you're actually being taken into space, with only a thin layer of mylar protecting you from the void.
Dude, am I supposed to be getting warm here? Damn, what a rush. 13.
You're able to keep your cool, but only just. You can feel your power, like, surging through your body. I'm assuming at this point... Who has the gem at this point?
I have the gem until we get
Okay. So you're flying super fast. The camera pans back, and we see a line of power. Oh, hold on, sorry. I'm doing hand gestures. We see a line of power behind a small silver point that is flecked with pink energy, magenta energy, as you are flying towards the sun. And we are going to skip over to Rob and Jen. And I'll come back to you guys in a second. If Rob and Jen are ready.
Yeah, we're ready. Do we turn on the camera?
They got a dog.
Yeah, turn on your camera, and then Daniel will turn off his.
Oh.
I'm waiting for the dog to stop barking. Because his bark is loud. Okay. You two helped kind of take care of and move the small child that was having the nightmare, if you remember from last week, that was causing the contagious fear among the populace. You guys were able to help him kind of get into a better place mentally and spiritually, and move him back to his room. You note that the some of the people that were helping, Wolfsbane and Sunspot, right? I think.
So?
Have changed some of the coding in his file, so he's reading as a much more dangerous mutant when not under control, which is unfortunate, but it is the way it is. You also, and that was a little bit ago, you're also helping them establish, make sure that the building, that everyone is evacuated the building, and the building's not going to come collapsing down. Partially because, as if something were to happen, it's Ansonia, right?
Sonica.
Sonica. Okay, so yeah, Sonica would be fine. She'd shift into sound and wouldn't be crushed by falling debris. But yeah, so you guys are helping kind of to set things up. When there is a vibration, you two are alone in a kind of dark room. There's still the flashing red lights of the kind of dangerous caution lights above, and they're pretty much the only light in here. There's a vibration, but it's not in the building. It's in you guys. And there's a large kind of bluish tint in front of you that starts resolving into a face that Sonica recognizes, and actually both of you recognize. It is a bald man with striking features, has big bushy eyebrows, Professor Xavier. And he is saying, I'm not sure how long I have, but you need to tell them he's coming. He's on his way. We tried to help where we could, but he's. And then
I take out my cell phone and get the camera going.
As you pull the camera out and hit record,
Yeah.
Professor Xavier's face starts to disappear into the mist.
Oh.
But you get like 1.5 seconds of that image.
Enough to corroborate our story.
Yes.
And I hear his voice, and his voice resonates with me.
It does. Yeah. It's definitely the same vocal harmonics as Professor X. You are reasonably certain, just through the sound of his voice, that was actually him. You also know that there's currently 2 groups of X-Men-like people out and about. One is set to return in about 20 minutes, and the other group was set out to I'm using air quotes so you can't see it, but secret mission to Genosha. It's secret in the way that everyone on campus knows about it. So it couldn't hurt to let them know, and also let the people in the Institute know.
That's exactly what we're going to go do. Start off with the whoever's highest on the ladder.
Okay. You kind of rush back to the mansion, and you find... I need somebody to refresh my memory. Mark, have we spoken about the order of importance at the school?
No.
Like, who is taking over? Okay. I'm going to say it's Scott Summers, because that makes sense. Although I can't remember. Yeah, Scott was a member of one of the teams, right?
Scott was the member of the original team.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember if he was a member of this team. The MCU team.
Oh.
I can't remember. I'm going to say yes. Let's move forward. You find Scott Summers, and you let him know, or you find Scott Summers. So what do you say?
We got a message from Professor X just a few moments ago. He said to hurry, there isn't much time.
Hurry and do what?
I didn't get that. Did you get anything?
I didn't, but I felt something.
Yeah, we're not sure.
There's something wrong.
We're pretty sure it was him, though, and I'll show him the picture on camera. That's what we saw.
Well, that definitely looks like him. Were any of the recording cameras in the building, like, recording this as well? Maybe we got a recording of the message.
Yeah, we can check those too.
But, well, I'll go and tell people, if you can pass the image or if you can pass this information to our groups that are out in the field.
We'll go do that.
And he turns and runs down a hallway pretty quickly because Professor X has been missing for, I think we said like a week, close to a week. So it's kind of a big deal for them. Yep. Just out of character, he said to let people know that he is coming, and the way he said he, it's a capital H, like it's a I am telling you that someone is coming.
That guy. That dude.
Proper noun.
Yep.
So we're thinking Galactus.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly. And you guys make your way to one of the comm centers that has that can send out messages. And you dial the frequency to the two teams that are currently out and about. One has been on radio silence for the last couple of days, and the other one immediately responds.
Good. Okay. Well, Tom, we received a message from Professor X.
Okay.
He said there's not much time. He's coming.
All right. And there's a crackling in you're in Silver Surfer and Cadis's headsets as they right before they are heading super far out, and that's what you hear over your headset. Cadis, I mean Surge, you're still on the island that's protected from radio signals.
One thing. While I'm here at the computer, just out of curiosity, I'm going to check and see if any of the cameras internally caught that little conversation we had from Professor X.
So all of the cameras were on passive because it was right after a big giant event and everything was pretty much turned off. So give me a technology roll to see if you can pull information from the passive cameras.
Okay, you're going to have to tell me how to do that.
So you're gonna type first you're gonna look on your character sheet for your technology bonus.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep. Then you're gonna type in Roll20.
Okay, where?
On the right side of the page.
Do you see where I'm typing? Type/roll 1d20 on the Roll20 page.
Yeah, I don't know how to get to that page though.
The Roll20 page?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not in it. I was asking earlier if somebody could help and point to the direction because I go in as a GM. Is it under recent games?
Just go roll20.net, and once you pull that up, you should see recent games if you've ever been in it.
He has.
And it should say Mutants and Masterminds, and there's a launch game button.
Mutants and Masterminds, MC Tuesdays.
Yep.
Yes.
You click launch game for that, and that'll take you right there.
And it's loading and gathering steam. And here we go. Okay, the D20, huh?
Yeah. So you roll 1d, just like I did it without the quote there. It'll be /roll space 1d20 plus whatever your modifier is.
How's a 22? 22. Not so hot.
It's better than a 21.
Yes.
Which is better than a 20.
That's sweet.
But it's better than a 1.
You're able to pull up video, and it's the exact message that you guys saw from a different angle.
Cool. Okay. So he wasn't contacting us mentally. It was an actual projection.
It was some kind of tech projection. And he said he's coming. Tell them. And we tried to do what we could to help, or we tried to send what we could for help, and then it faded out.
If we have a way of encrypting that and forwarding that to the other teams, I'll do that.
Sure. Well, yeah, you guys will receive it as a video file. You can't get it on your comm, but you'll get it as a video file, and you'll hear it through a crackled static.
Through a crackled static, what was the origin position?
I'll try and do that. Locate the origin.
Give me another technology roll.
You never know. Okay.
Hero point.
He's saying you should use a hero. He's saying you should spend a hero point, which does what, Mark?
I like that.
Lets you dramatically alter a plot.
So you would be able to spend a hero point and say, I found where the signal came from.
I
think I'll go ahead and do that.
As you track the signal back, your hands flying quickly over the keyboards, you track it back to someplace in outer space beyond where the records of Earth go.
That's not very far.
Well, that's true.
Galaxy far, far away.
But you do have a point of origin. It's just you're not sure what the point of origin is.
Okay, not sure what it is, but it's like 22 billion parsecs away or something like that.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let Silver know, and
you don't have access to a computer right now, so you can't see the really. So you can't see the location mark, but you're still flying towards the sun.
I can still tell him what it is.
It's a point really, really far out in space.
All right.
Fair enough.
Crap. I turn to Cadus and I slow our rush into space for a moment. And over comms, I say to him, my only fear is if Galactus is headed this way, we might somehow be able to use this to defeat him.
So now you don't want me to blow up the rock?
What are you going to do? Bribe him with it?
You put me in this suit, fly me up into space, I'm itching all over, and you don't want me to do the thing you... What? Dude, make up your mind, man.
I use my cosmic awareness. Can I feel Galactus anywhere near Earth?
He's not... Oh.
Hey.
Hey. Hi, Silver.
Hi.
Hi. I can be sound. I can hold what you're having in a sonic cage. So you don't have to deal with it for right now.
The reason we were attempting, and obviously this is all crackly, the reason we were attempting to get rid of it is so that it does not draw others here.
Well, if you throw it into the sun, it's not going to work. So.
No, we're not going to throw it into the sun. We're going to try to destroy it.
So what they were going to try to do was fly near the sun and then have Cadus, who's like Gambit, pump it full of a whole bunch of power and then push it out so that hopefully it would explode, and that way it doesn't bring a second giant monster named Dormammu to your door. Because if this gem is the
Crimson Gem of Sidorak.
it might draw, because it's a very powerful magical gem. It might draw this other creature, and that's what they're afraid of.
Who has always wanted to conquer Earth, but can't because of mystical forces keeping him at bay.
Or can't this time because Galacticus will be there.
Yeah, maybe they'll fight it out.
Also, yeah.
You know, the enemy of my enemy, my friend.
Is still not good for the environment.
When do we find Mothra?
Mothra would be so underpowered in the MCU, it's not even funny.
Yeah. No, when Galacticus farts, there goes the environment. Pretty much.
Well, I suddenly don't think this is going to work anyways, but let's see. Cadus, go ahead. Try it. And I'm gonna point him away from the sun.
Do it, Lars.
And towards, deep space, not towards Earth, not towards a planet, but we'll see what happens. And then
a real hero would take it and fly into the sun, sacrificing himself to destroy it.
Except for the part where it absorbs energy, and I'd be afraid that it would actually absorb all the energy of the sun and cause a bigger problem for Earth.
First of all, that sounds like quitters talk.
Hey, now look, Silver Dude is he's a spaceman, so he.
I double dog dare you.
Okay. So you point.
I will not try to lick the surfboard.
All right, you're gonna point him away from the sun and away from planets and stuff.
Yep.
And what?
Well, at least away from our planet.
And so, Cadus, you're gonna charge it as much as you can, and then you said we have 2 seconds to get as far as possible.
Sometimes 2, sometimes 5. Depending on how much energy I put into it.
Wait, why don't you just do it on the dark side of the sun?
So
yes, I mean I'm a douche, but I know there is no dark side of the sun.
Yeah. So put as much as you possibly can. Tell me when you're. Give me the signal, and then I will fly us out of here as quickly as possible.
Word.
All right. Cadus, as you turn away and start focusing on this gem that he has just handed to you, it's a fist-sized gem that's magenta colored. Yeah, let me drop in. It's a fist-sized gem that is magenta colored, and it's got a swirling energy like a pink aurora borealis within it. You start pumping your bubbling purple energy, kinetic energy, or potential energy into it. And give me a power roll. So that's going to be a d20 plus your rank in that power that you're using.
And I have a picture of it up on the screen just so you can see what it looks like. Ignore the words. It should say Crimson Jonas Sidorak.
Let me double check this one roll. I think it's there.
Yeah, no, that's
the
good.
right math.
Yeah, I don't know why it's
22.
Okay. So it's not. You're not rolling to hit. It's a power check, but it might be the same.
Wait one second.
You have 14 ranks in that power.
16 ranks, 60 power points. So it's damage 6. So it's a little.
I'll talk to you about it afterwards. That's fine. This roll works. You start pumping energy into it as you're holding it in your hands like this, and then all of a sudden you can feel it as a sentient mind, and you get the feeling it doesn't like to be threatened, and you blink out of existence. The crystal mark is floating in space where Cadus was sitting.
All right, so next character is going to be Kal-El of Krypton. Got it.
So I'll come back around to you, Cadus.
And the last thing you hear is, "Damn you, Silver Spaceman!"
No, the last thing you hear is, that didn't work.
So, Mark, I would like you to make a cosmic knowledge check. I don't know what we're going to use for that, but...
forces, 24 points in it. I don't know.
Sure.
So what do I roll exactly?
What's your rank in that? You said power points. You can spend a lot of power points, but that's not ranked.
Yeah, just roll a 1d24.
That's not how that works.
Would it be the same as my cosmic?
Just roll me an intelligence check, because it's something you may or may not have heard about.
So that's just
Intelligence?
plus my intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a 1. Okay. You are, as you look at the crystal, because it's floating right in front of you, right where Cadus was. You can see and feel this kind of warm efficiency, this hunger that kind of wants to control and to burn out the weakness of the universe, kind of wake up just past the crystal. And it's strange, you feel it past the crystal but not behind the crystal. It's like whatever Cadus just did awoke something from somewhere.
Great. I try to turn my attention to Cadus.
Oh, sorry, and it looks like this.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Make that 3 problems. And I'm going to try and track Cadus.
Give me a check.
I mean, that's fantastic, for all I know.
Huh.
Huh. 32.
It's almost like I can still hear his voice.
You don't sense Cadus anywhere at all. You would sense him if he was particles. If it had atomized him, you'd sense that. You don't sense him at all.
All right.
Do I remember?
I will.
Did his memory of him exist?
Was Cadus real?
I will take the gem and fly back to pick up Surge and go back to the school.
Oh, no. I'm not going up there and doing what you did to Cadus.
You don't know about what I've done.
2 Avengers go up, 1 Avenger comes back. I know how this goes. I ain't riding on that boat.
You don't know about Cadus yet. So yeah, I come back and then...
Of course, I didn't hear the comms with, well, that didn't work. And then just you come back. What happened? Oh, you know. You got my shit. Let's go for a ride. Look at these pretty flowers. Where's Cadus?
I don't know. I think he's not here anymore.
Well, that's obvious.
Mm-hmm. You know.
What, are you going on vacation? Where's this? You got the crystal. So did he decide to give up on the mission, or?
Nope. He was concentrating on the crystal, and then he was gone. Something or someone.
Hey, Justin, why don't you jump in?
Something or someone just moved him, or I think they had to move him. I can't sense him anywhere. Not even his atoms.
No, I remember him.
We're talking about him. Of course you remember him.
Well, sure, if you want to get technical.
Let's go back to the school and see if there's anything. Maybe there's a mutant that can help us.
Yeah, who's holding on to that, though? I ain't touching it.
I am. I'm holding on to it.
All right, I'm getting behind you. I don't want you pushing that to my back. Hey, what's that on your shoulder? Oh, son of a...
I'll program the Quinjet to return to.
Yeah, that's it. I'll fly the jetpack. Yeah, I got
fly the jetpack. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I'm
Got
gonna get
autopilot.
there way faster than you.
It's gonna take you like 9 hours in the Quinjet.
That's fine. I don't
Okay.
want to be on this.
There are 9 living hours. That is true.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to get on Mr. Buck's wild ride here. I already know what happened to Blasty. I don't want to be next on the hit list for Silver Surfer here.
All right. So you get in the Quinjet and program it to head back to Xavier's mansion, and you're good to go. So Surfer, you turning back on my camera. You spin up and take off like a shot. It'll probably take you about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. You've got super flight, right?
I have like cosmic flight.
Yeah. So probably faster than that. So you are there when Robin Jen. You've heard some of this over the radio, so you know that Silver Surfer is heading back. You have not actually met him. He left while you guys were still in training. So if you guys want to switch to video.
Well, now he's here. Why don't you tell him to his face?
As the Silver Surfer arrives and you guys are standing out on one of the terraces on the second floor of the mansion, right next to the comm room. Yep. Go ahead, Surfer. These are obviously the two that spoke to you that have the map and the image of Xavier.
Greetings. Are you the two that had Professor X's message for us?
We are.
And by chance, do you have the map that you had for the origin of the signal?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. We'll show them. Here it is.
So I look at the map. Do I know where it's at?
It is deep within the Shi'ar Empire.
Of course it is. So, knowing that, does that give me a reroll on what this
You feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what this is. And had you thought about that ahead of time, you might have not had Cadus threaten it.
Yeah. So things are worse than I originally thought, and we just made them worse.
Well, don't do that again.
So I thought of the name of this episode, Mark. The Silver Surfer makes things worse again.
Oh.
So what can we do from this point? It's done.
Yeah. How can we help you, Silver? What can we do? We're on your side.
Hold on, I got to change the name in the bottom left of the feed. Silver Surfer makes things worse.
Oh no! Erase that. That's wrong.
It's actually true, but that's all right. That's why it's fun. How can you help? Well,
what's stressing the surfer?
What is stressing the surfer?
Let's go with that.
I like that.
All right. I'm thinking back through Earth's history in this version, so they've never dealt with that. Is Jean... Well, that wouldn't be a thing here, so never mind. I wouldn't even think that.
Yep.
Jean, pretty redhead dog.
I'm just curious, is Jean Grey here and part of this group or not?
She is here. She's not part of this group.
Right. No, I get it.
Yeah, she is a normal student.
She's not one of the leadership. Like Scott.
No. And Scott's pretty young for leadership, but she's like a full-time student and actually doesn't experiment with her powers very much.
So that being said, since we haven't had this discussion before, Scott's part of the leadership team. Who else?
We'll go with
Xavier.
Scott, Xavier, Scott, Aurora, which is Storm. Yeah, Hank McCoy, and
Jean Grey.
oh, it was Banshee. That was the kid that was on the ground with the nightmare. That's who it was.
They're going to watch Wolfsbane.
Yeah. And we'll say Wolfsbane. Wolfsbane and Sunspot.
Okay. The first thing you guys can do to help is, do you know where Hank McCoy is?
You guys actually just saw him earlier when you were making rounds.
I'll put out a call for doo-doo, paging Hank McCoy. Doo-doo. Please come to the veranda.
Well, if that works, that's very easy.
You wait about just a couple minutes, and a solid blue furred mutant in a very nice suit comes dropping from the ceiling out of the hallway into the room attached to the veranda.
Not on the good carpet.
Yes, you called?
Yes, thank you. We have with us here Silver Surfer, who seems to know where all the trouble's coming from and what to do.
Ah, yes. I was sad that I was out of the area when you originally arrived, and he'll walk over and offer a large, very sharp-clawed hand to you, Silver Surfer.
Shake his hand, and I will say, I believe you are probably the smartest person on this planet, and I'm going to need your help. We have multiple problems that look like they're all going to converge at once on this planet, and I don't know how to fight any of them at this point.
Well, if you can't fight them, what chance do we have?
You are a smart and resourceful people. You have thousands of strong mutants who are willing to stand up, and that's what we're going to need.
That may be, but I think you'll find the majority of our people are hesitant to go to war.
You won't have a choice if you want your planet to survive. Galactus is arriving shortly. I found Professor X. He's in the Shi'ar. Actually, I'm sorry. This gentleman, these two folks, found Professor X. He is in the Shi'ar Empire. The Shi'ar and the Skrull and the Kree have been at war with each other for years. Right now, the Skrull have a blockade outside of Earth's solar system to try and slow down Galactus. But then we have this, and I refer to the giant crystal. This is the McCran crystal, and this is a nexus of realities. Cadus attempted, on my instructions, to destroy it in space so that we did not awaken another entity that I feared was Dormammu, because I incorrectly thought this was the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. They look similar. And that's the only thing I can say in my defense. And I believe it either teleported him to the Shi'ar Empire, or it teleported him inside the crystal, or it sent him somewhere else. But I can no longer find Cadus. I do not think...
I think I hear faint laughter from Fate.
Oh! Cadus was inside of you the whole time.
And on top of that, there is another entity that devours entire solar systems called the Phoenix Force, which is now awakened and pointed at Earth.
You can see him visibly gulp as he pushes his glasses further up his nose. That is quite the deck stacked against us. Well, no point in wasting time. If you would, and he offers his hand for the gem.
I gladly give it.
You say...
Oh,
go ahead.
I was going to say that I have met with the Queen of Wakanda, and it seems like her people have many intellectual resources that could be of aid in this, but I think we're going to need your world's top minds on this sooner rather than later.
Oh, I have no doubt in that. I will get in contact with them immediately. In the meantime, can you tell me everything you know about this crystal?
Can I use my unwritten power now?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, alright. So, do I need to roll for that, or can I just do it?
I can't remember what it was.
It's the data dump. The
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so then I will...
I'd like to use my monthly plot point and say they can't. No, I'm kidding.
It's just easier to actually pull it up so that you can go. But basically, it's older than history. There was an alien city that lived inside it at one point, kind of like the Doctor's TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside than it was on the outside. In the center of the city was an entire neutron galaxy, and the sun of that was the nexus of all matter and antimatter and all realities in existence.
Okay. And this is stuff you're just like touching his forehead and then dumping this information?
I don't have to touch. I can just project to like. Oh
wait,
okay. No, that was with the device. Actually, yes, I'd have to touch him and do that, and I would do that for everybody here. And
okay,
I would also then relay my experiences and what I know of the Phoenix Force.
So, Robin Jen, your characters also have a passable knowledge of the entity known as the Phoenix Force, which is, Mark will talk about that in a second, and the M-Cron Crystal, which he just described, as he dumps the information directly into your brains. It's a strange feeling.
Yeah, I'm not used to learn. I'm a quick learner, but that's wow.
Yeah, I feel a little bit woozy.
So the same question then.
Anybody else taste peanut butter?
Oh,
What now?
bacon!
Bacon.
Well, being that the Phoenix Force is basically the nexus of all psionic energy in the universe, and it's the guardian of the Macrarian Crystal, it's most definitely headed here to retrieve the crystal. The problem is that it can literally destroy the entire universe, or cut the universe and regrow it, or it's sentient, but sometimes it takes hosts, and it has been to Earth before, whether your people are aware of it or not. It came during the Stone Ages, I believe was what you called it.
We survived it then, we can survive it now.
How about if I give you a nice sonic?
That might work, I'm not sure. But if you have someone who is a, what do you call them, Omega level?
That term has not come up yet.
Oh,
A stomatologist?
whoever your strongest psionic person is, more than likely it will attempt to make contact or take over that person.
Okay, so as you guys are walking in, because you're following, I'm assuming all of you are following Beast into his diagnostics lab, with the crystal. The camera will pan out as you guys are walking down the hallway, and I'm going to jump over to I'll jump over to Surge, who is in the Quinjet, listening to music at full volume. What are you listening to?
Oh, just some Purple Funk. And actually, what I'm listening to is previous episodes of Gamers Ledge Podcast, available as VODs from twitch.tv/GamersLedge. Twitch.tv/GamersLedge has previous podcasts such as Wrestling, a recap and review of the best wrestling unknown, the Japanese Wrestling Syndicate, and we also cover and recap games, apps, gaming news, world news, and give a little bit of what we're doing every day and our spin on it. Not only that, but you can catch previous episodes of Mutants and other role-playing adventures that we as a group have gone through. To join us more, you can always press that bell icon up at the top there. And if you have Twitch, you can subscribe for free every month and donate without costing a dime. That's what I'm listening to, GM. Now back to you.
Well said. How much are you paying him?
He's our top contributor, so it's the other way around. But I appreciate him more than you can know.
I think that's awesome. That is awesome. All right, Cadus, why don't you go ahead and drop in? All right.
I am just.
Oh, I'll get there. I'll get there. You disappear from space and wake up without your spacesuit, but still in your clothes. Your face pressed against cool stone. As you open your eyes, you see that the stone below you is the same color, that same magenta color, as the gem that you were holding in your hands. And as you push yourself up from the floor, you see that everything around you, you're in a giant building, and everything is that same color. Outside of a window, you can see that the sky, without a single cloud, is a deep shade of like turquoise blue.
Yeah, what does Spaceman do this time?
You hear nothing, you see nothing, but you are in this kind of prismatic city that is that full color.
Well, at least it's fresh air.
That seems to go on and on forever, like the Gamers Ledge screen right now.
Oh, hey. That's weird. Why is that happening?
Don't turn around. Do turn around. I want to see that ripple.
I know why it's happening.
The only thing that is not that magenta color is a solid white door. You see it across, there's like a window next to you and a window on the other side of a large open area, and in that room you see a brilliantly white door, like made of light. White door.
I guess it's time to go meet the maker. And at the door.
So you make your way around.
There's nothing.
You make your way around. You note that everything in this crystalline city, it seems to be made of that same material, but there are doorknobs and there are what look like computer panels and different things, as if somebody lived in this city at one point. It takes you for what feels like forever, but you finally make your way to the room opposite of where you were before, and you see the white door ahead of you. You get the feeling that this is not a good door to use.
And as I flip a coin to see if I actually open the door, I do not open it. Like, you know what? Screw the maker. I'm going out the window.
He was blinded by the light, swept up like a deuce, another runner in the night.
Wow.
As you put your hand to the doorknob, you realize that it is like glowingly hot.
Yes. Yep.
It's hot-blooded. Check and see. I think it has a fever of 103.
Yep, it's not time to go through that door. Out the window it is.
As you look down, it's just more of the same down below. So if you dropped out of this, you might drop to your death. It's that high up. This is a palace made of stone that you have out before you. And then roll me a perception check.
Yeah, I see everything.
You hear, it was an 8, as to do whatever actions being taken. I like that. You hear somebody yelling, "Hello? Is someone there?" But you're not sure what direction it's from. It's somewhere beneath you, like you heard it from one of the windows beneath you, but you're not sure from where. And I'm going to jump from you back to Surge. Surge, you finally arrive at the landing at the Xavier Mansion. You can see that people are kind of rushing around a lot more quickly, and there's a lot of people whispering and talking about something like close together. It seems as if, and you heard it before, you didn't hear it. It seems as if Xavier, a message came in from Xavier.
And no one bothered to send it to me in email. But I do want to cut back one moment, Mr. GM, and let you know that what was behind that door was a life without subscribing to Gamer's Ledge. Sad, dull, and horrible. So don't go through that door. Instead, subscribe to Gamer's Ledge. Well, I see that email and the message now that came through, and I tracked down the Silver Surfer and see, what's happened. Did you lose any more people? And what should we do now?
So, the Surfer and 2 individuals you haven't met yet are currently in the main science lab, science and research lab with the Beast, Hank McCoy, Dr. Hank McCoy, the illustrious Dr. Hank McCoy, in his research lab, and they have a very high-tech machine that has a lot of sharp points balancing the crystal in the center of this machine as it's being probed and tested. So you're good, Silver Surfer. Yeah, ask your question.
What's with that Stone of Death over there? Out and about, not locked up.
Mark, he was talking to you.
I don't understand. Hank's got it.
He said he was coming to track you down and asked you what had happened.
Well, so we're all still standing there, right? We haven't left yet or anything.
You've been in Hank's lab for the last couple hours as you've been experimenting.
So this is later. I'm sorry, I missed the part where we moved ahead. Okay.
Yeah, it took him a while to get here by jet.
Right. I'll just data dump him. It's faster.
Okay.
Smell bacon?
You get caught up with everything.
So now,
but that still doesn't explain
what happened to Jadis. Yeah, I have a feeling I know where he is, but I have no idea how to get him back. I have a feeling he's inside the crystal.
So just smash it with a hammer.
Yeah, so that's part of what got us into this mess in the first place.
But you used a cosmic hammer. I'm talking about a real hammer.
Yeah. Phoenix Force is going to come whether we smash the crystal or not. And on top of that, I don't think we can smash the crystal. It's one of the oldest living things in the universe.
Yeah, but old people live forever and they get brittler the older they get.
Yeah, not this. It's drank a lot of, what's the word?
Pepto-Bismol?
Language. Maybe. Vitamins.
It's got a lot of minerals, you say.
Yes, it is a crystal. So
That's what you do with the needle and thread.
I think what you can do that would be helpful is, since you're more familiar with the X-Men than I am, is who would be the strongest psionics on the team? Because
that's still here?
The Phoenix Force has, over time, been known to reach out, work with, take over other psionic entities. And it's usually the strongest possible.
Well, there was that one kid at the island we were just at.
Which one?
The one that pretty much
Broadband.
Cult.
Oh, Legacy.
Oh, Legion? But Legion's dead. He exploded.
Did he though?
Yes. Because I did check up on that afterwards.
Oh.
You said that I sensed that his atoms scattered, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, he's definitely dead. It's not
Well, he's scattered.
It's not like Cadus, where he's just gone.
Yeah, but that's episode. This is issue number 5. I mean, you got 6, and I know who the next most powerful psionic person is, and that is Bob.
Probably Quentin Quire.
Yeah, Quentin Quagmire.
He wears a red shirt.
Quentin Quire.
Yeah, Quentin Quire, like the singing choir.
Not too much.
He should be around here if he's not doing his humanitarian work.
Well, it would be a good idea to talk to Quentin and let him know what's coming and the possibility of him having to deal with it then.
I look to Beast. So is he around?
There's a heavy sigh, and he squishes the bridge of his nose and just shakes his head. And yeah, he's probably in detention.
See? Doing humanitarian work. Leading detention.
Not leading detention.
Yeah, being the lead of detention, like it said.
I mean, you spent enough time there.
How do you think I got so good?
Right. So, just for the record, Rob and Jen, you guys are still in the room. If there was anything you wanted to toss in.
Not really. We're doing great. Keep it up.
Yeah,
okay.
Hilarious.
That's Quentin Quire is probably the he's the strongest telepath we have on record right now.
Is there someone not on record?
Well, I mean, we have several telepaths here at.
Probably be a good idea to warn them all.
The ones next to the printers? Oh, telegraphs. My bad.
Wasn't sure where you were going with that one.
Does your mouth always run as fast as your feet?
Yeah, it's kind of.
Usually when they. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Okay, so he nods and says, "I'll call them all in, and we can discuss it." And he turns and starts putting together a list to send to one of his lab assistants, another student, to start getting together. And we're going to jump to Cadus.
Before we do, super
yes.
quick. I actually have a question for Sonica.
Hey. Yeah, what do you have? What you got for me?
You mentioned you can use sound.
I become sound.
You become sound.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever passed through a solid object as sound?
I am a student and I'm learning. And these things do not happen as I wish. What happens is it's just accidental, and I'm learning from Dr.
Dr. Branson.
Dr. Branson, how to control them. Can I help you in any way?
Give it a
I
try.
understand. I too have premature sound exasperations, but I can go through objects.
So you're thinking if she becomes sound at the right frequency, she can get through the crystal? Just figure out what the crystal's frequencies are?
That's my thought, because inside is not what's outside. And we have no way to create a portal there. And if Cadus is there, you might be the key to getting him out.
That's some real fortune cookie stuff you got there.
Yeah, he's not useful. And I point to Surge.
I can go through things.
Yeah, exactly. You can go through things. We actually need to get into
I can go through a wall, and you're asking if she can do the same thing, equivalency.
No, completely different. I want to know if she can go into it.
Well, you didn't ask that. You asked if she can go through.
Sound doesn't have a defined area of effect or volume, so yeah, she could go infinitesimally small if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Beast. Does that make sense? What I'm proposing?
I mean, to be honest, half the people in this on this estate do things that don't make sense. We deal with the impossible every day, my friend.
It's only impossible until it's done.
And Silver, I want to help you, whatever it is. I'm on your team, man.
I just want to make sure that you are aware of the
He's on your board.
danger.
I'm full aware I'm in danger. I'm in danger every day.
Silver Surfer has tried to start 2 intergalactic wars already and sacrifices people on his team all the time.
Don't worry, Danger's her middle name. She got it legally changed 2 years ago.
No, I got it changed a month ago when I married him.
That's right.
Professor.
I would think. I don't understand exactly what you do.
Middle names are acronyms, kind of like just a synonym for to tell somebody. It's not too complicated, though.
But I will say that I think you might be able to, if nothing else, see into the crystal. If you can materialize there and can figure a way to bring Cadus with you out, that's great. But if you can only see and then return, that would be great as well, just to confirm whether or not Cadus is even there.
I will be able to get into the crystal. If I can talk to him at that point, I don't know.
Does your communicator work when you're in sonic form?
Only in my mind.
I would say yeah. Yeah, I would say yeah. That it works.
Then what we need to do is we need to get a sound amplifier and test the crystal to see which frequencies it responds to. Then we can project that frequency into the room and she can become it. And then go into the crystal.
Works for me.
That sounds like a plan. And Hank starts fiddling with dials. Why don't you give me a tech roll, Rob? As you're assisting, helping him find that frequency.
Coming up. 30.
Yeah, I think that might do it. By a little, just barely. You're able to tune in the right frequency, and soon enough you have it playing over the speakers in the room. It's a strange vibrational frequency that actually hurts your guys' ears a little bit. Everyone except for Silver Surfer and Sonica. Obviously Sonica for obvious reasons.
I'll put on the hearing equipment I use when we're testing Sonica.
You actually feel this sound. It's not a sound you hear. It's a sound you're feeling, and that's what's throwing it off. So you put in your earplugs, which helps not hurt your eardrums, but it's like your skin hurts.
Comes up.
Yep.
Wow. I think we discovered the brown note, guys.
And Sonica, you can feel yourself start to slip into the sound, almost like it's a warm bath.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
She's like, yes, warm baths. I like that.
Be nice, Silver.
And you can go ahead and describe what happens to your character.
Okay, so before the warm bath.
But as she's shifting.
Oh, I'm shifting. It's like it comes up through it comes up the floor and it just like moves me, and I can't describe it more than that yet. It just takes me. It takes me, and
amen, brother.
As of yet, I am not able to control it because this is new to me, and I'm still a test subject. But I'm trying to learn how to control it, and once I do, I want to be part of the team.
So what would happen is, as you hear the sound, feel the sound, you become it.
I become it,
and you float with it right into the crystal, like a river.
I do. It's liquid. It really, really is liquid.
And Surfer, in all the times and all the places you've been, you've never seen anything quite like that.
Yeah.
1 second she's there, and you've seen shapeshifters before, and it's not even quite like a shapeshift. She becomes sound.
Does her clothes go with her, or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Some shapeshifters.
Is it like your clothes fall to the ground, or you just completely gone, or how does that work?
You're from hell. Yes, everything comes with me,
Okay.
Including her communicator, which works, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So your sound starts vibrating through the air and moves towards the crystal, matching frequencies with the crystal. As the form that was Sonica touches the surface of the crystal, all of you fall to the ground. The vibration was too much, and you can feel it kind of separating your consciousness for a split second as it merges with the crystal and disappears. And you guys are kind of pushing yourselves up from the ground.
And changing our underwear.
And changing your underwear.
Can I start healing people?
Yes.
Okay.
It's that brown note.
Oh, well, you know what? Shut up. Okay, so
So you kind of phase in, and there's a transition. And at one point, you're standing in the research room, and in the very next instant, you are laying on the floor of a room completely made of crystal. It has an open doorway that leads out to a hallway made of crystal, the same color as the crystal you were trying to pass into. Your skin is on fire. Your body is on fire. Not like literal on fire, but everything hurts. Like, badly. You push up from the ground and stand up. You're still wearing the proper clothing, but everything hurts. It's almost like you have been separated from the normal sounds of the universe. Sounds that you have grown up with and gotten used to, harmonics that your body has been able to merge with so that it feels more comfortable. You are separated from all of that, and this is something new, and it hurts.
So you can hear ultraviolet.
I am not.
No.
Thank you. Very little. I get up. Of course, it's painful, and I just pick up and I spin down the hallway. I spin to cool flames, because flames normally in a real world would burn my ass, but they don't. I spin to cool off.
Okay. It has the desired effect, and it still hurts, but nowhere near as much. And you're able to move about a little bit more freely. You get the feeling, though, that your powers may not work the same way here as they do out there. The frequencies here are all wrong. The sound harmonics are all wrong. But you won't know exactly how until you try, right? But you are in this. Were you here when I was talking to Cadis about what he saw?
He saw like a crystal room, and there's windows. And
and everything is that same kind of
color,
magenta energy. You can see in most of the walls there's like a pink, bright magenta aurora borealis that moves through the crystal inside the crystal walls, showing that there is energy within all of the walls and floors and furniture and everything. But this is a gigantic palace made of the same type of energy. There are windows, and as you move towards one of the windows and look out, you can see down. It goes down hundreds of thousands of feet and up hundreds of thousands of feet, and you can see other windows as well. Most of them open to the air. Some of them have thin kind of gemstone glass.
Well, okay. Well, I look at some of the windows out of curiosity, and then I go upstairs.
Okay.
It's going up there.
You're looking out the windows. Give me a perception check.
Oh. Perception.
Oh, let's see.
What's that, awareness? No.
Perception.
I think it's a...
Next.
I'm working on it. Working on it.
You're good.
7.
7?
So you don't see anything looking out the window, but okay.
Do you have a luck?
Nobody has luck. That's a special power.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yep.
I'm still working on this.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. And just because you failed doesn't mean you can't try something else. Like you said, you're going upstairs. You don't see anything looking out the window except for what I described earlier. But you start to make your way upstairs. Give me one more perception check.
That's it.
Yeah.
What did you roll?
14.
Okay. Yeah, I it's hard for me to switch back and forth sometimes, so when you guys roll, just yell out the number. You hear very quietly, "Hello? Is someone there? Oh gosh, I think I heard someone. Please, help me." And you hear it from up above you somewhere, so you know it's coming from somewhere above.
What's the GM whisper command?
Oh, slash
all.
No.
Slash.
I think it is just GM or
Slash GM slash WGM.
I mean, or you just try whisper
slash W space GM. Yep. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
No, not down. Up.
So what Mark is talking about is, if you guys have a message to send just to me, you'll type slash W space GM and then space the message. I think you can type. Yeah. You hear her sound, Mark, through the comms until she shifts into the crystal, and then you don't hear anything else.
That's what I thought.
No, not like that. Okay, so what do you want to do?
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, okay. I'm on the floor, and I'm.
No, you're not on the floor.
I'm on the stairs.
Yeah, you're on the stairs.
And you just
I'm on the
heard
stairs.
a voice, right?
I want to go up to the highest floor and look down.
So it's hundreds of thousands of feet above you. So it goes up almost like infinity and goes down like almost infinity. It's a huge place that goes off into the distance.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's like you go that.
Right next. I work out.
I work out.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're good.
So I go to the second story and look out the window.
Go ahead and give me another perception check.
keep in mind, Dan, right? Half of infinity, okay?
Half
That's how she's going up.
I've got it. The only way to fix this is to divide by 0.
16, so maybe
All right.
I can hear the voice. I can see the voice.
So,
It is
Cadus.
sound, after all.
Cadus, as you look out the window, Sonica, you see Cadus. You've seen him around the mansion before. He looks a lot like Gambit, but you see him in a window straight across from you, which means he couldn't have been the voice, but you see the man that they sent you in to look for. Are you there, Ray?
Yep.
All right.
So I look around. I'm seeing Sonica. I
Yep.
don't really know her. Don't kind of.
But you recognize her.
On the voice. Like, and I get like, and I reach for my hand, kind of do a little nod, and say, kind of, in a 2-finger salute, saying, "Hey, aren't you one of that professor's people?"
Well, I'd say yes, of course. I'm on your team.
Let me guess. You listened to Silver Spaceman, didn't you?
Keep it talking.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yes, Silver.
So you're stuck in this place too, huh?
Well, yeah. Well, let's see what we can do to get out.
Hey, the big pearly door here. Wouldn't touch the door handle though.
Oh, have you been standing in that same room?
Yep.
He couldn't go out the window, and he can't go through the door.
Well, you're stuck in there. It's not his fault.
Oh, no, he came in through a hallway.
Poor face.
That led into a room with a door and a window.
Okay, so let's try and get out.
You're over yonder.
as if the city around you senses what you're saying. You hear a soft ringing tone. It's just a single note, but it carries on like it doesn't diminish. It's just like beep. From somewhere below you, or somewhere above. Did I say the voice was coming from above you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, from above you.
Yeah. Or bullet for me. Yeah.
Yep.
God, my tinnitus is really kicking in.
Yep. Essentially, it's the note is coming from above you, which is also where the.
You cut out, Daniel. It's also where the what?
It's also where the noise and the voice came from.
So, does it sound like it's coming from close up or like a couple stories?
Yeah, a couple stories. Couple stories.
We can hear that from a couple stories. That's big.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing else. Like there's nothing else making a sound here.
And I can hear lots of stuff. So.
Yep.
I'm gonna go up and check it out. And I don't want anything to happen to him because I have this.
Are you also going up, Case?
Yes. I will follow suit and go up.
Okay.
Because, she's not the silver space guy, so she might, she seems to be more competent than him.
Oh!
She's gone to school. She's smart. I hope.
You make your way up, and you can see a large control room. It has computer panels and computer banks, servers. Along one wall, there are what look like cryo tubes. So tubes where people could be frozen. It looks like there's some people in there, but the gem isn't see-through enough to see who they are or what they are. And you see that there are a bunch of computers throughout the room. There is a small girl, maybe 11 or 12, like that age group, that is sitting in the center of the room on the floor crying. She looks confused and obviously scared. And as you guys come up, you actually hit both sides of the same room at the same time. See each other across this control room with the little girl sitting between you. All of the computer banks and computer screens, monitors are all flickering. And there's a bunch of dials and buttons and stuff as well.
I've never met him before, right?
Both of you have seen each other at the mansion, but you haven't been formally introduced.
Okay. So I don't, okay. All right, cool.
And when they told you who you were coming to look for, I'm going to assume that they showed you a picture.
Of the child?
Oh, no, sorry. The child is a, like 11-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's Gambit.
So
it's not, though. Stop confusing people.
Gambit's a child.
Cadus is across the hall, across the way from you.
Hayden?
The child... Cadus.
Cave.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, now I know who I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I see this, I see him, and I see the child. I look around the room. It's a little bit confusing and distracting. There's no sound, so I'm a little bit lost.
Well, there are sounds. They're just not sounds you're familiar with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're used to a whole different milieu of sound. The soup of life here is different.
Okay. All right. So I'm curious. I'm looking around and trying to see.
Give me a perception check.
I will.
Yep, that's well high enough. As you pass the wall that has the windows with people behind them, you note that each of them hums at a different frequency. Something that you probably wouldn't have noticed while back at home, because this one has such a lack of natural frequency.
Okay.
But each of them hums at a different frequency. You note that the little girl, now that you're noticing that, you note that the little girl by herself, her existence is humming at a different frequency than yours. But Cadis hums at the same frequency as you.
How about if I pick up the little girl,
Okay.
throw her over my shoulder, and start looking?
At the windows?
Absolutely.
Give me another perception check. I'm assuming you're looking for something that matches?
Yeah. I'm looking
Okay.
for something. I'm just looking.
If you were to hazard a guess, you would say that maybe the frequencies that you are picking up off people, the sound, that inaudible sound that you're picking up off people, is probably the notes that they are from. Well, I don't know, because you don't really know about the multiverse, so that may not be a thing. As you're peering through trying to peer through the gemstone, which is just too thick for you to be able to see behind it, you do see that there are a couple up a little bit higher that do match a similar frequency to the little girl. She stops crying after a little bit of you holding her, and she says, "I've been alone here for so long."
Oh. I take my hand, her hand, and I put them on the crystal.
She doesn't seem to notice what you're trying to show her.
Even if we both touch the crystal at the same time?
So you can feel those frequencies because of what you are, and she can't.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Can I quickly interject that she would know about the multiverse because I downloaded all the information about the McCrane crystal?
Oh, you absolutely did. Thank you very much. Okay, so the idea that Silver Surfer had dumped a bunch of information into your brain, everything that he knew about this crystal, which means that includes the fact that there are multiple universes, same Earth, same people, different dimension. That there's a multitude of them, and that this place, in theory, is a nexus point between all of the universes. So the frequency that you're feeling from people could be their home frequency.
Oh, thanks, Silver.
Yeah, so you are right, Mark. Very good point. You are able to feel that her frequency is different, but she is not able to feel that because she doesn't have your skill set. Cadis, what are you doing while she is feeling around the room?
I will go in and start inspecting these terminals to see if I can essentially make anything out as far as where we are and what they do. And
give me an intelligence check and a technology check.
Sheesh.
And 11 for both.
Nice. You are not able to figure it out, but there are several buttons that are blinking on their own. Like,
what color are they blinking?
They're normally a different shade of magenta, but they're blinking yellow. A couple are blinking yellow, a couple are blinking red.
I push the red and yellows.
All of them?
Sure, one at a time.
There is a blinding flash of white light as all three of you you feel yourselves vibrate essentially out of existence, and you see things sprout around you as you drop from about 5 feet up onto a lush green floor of grass and leaves and shrubbery. There will be light. There is there's light filtering through the trees, but the light is like a dirty orange that's blowing through the trees. In the distance, you see the broken ruins of a city and growth overgrowing it. The camera pans back, and in the small corner, you see Earth 227. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Oh, thanks.
All right.
That was really nice of you.
He almost destroyed the Earth last time by destroying machinery, and then I think he put somebody in cryo freeze the time before that by push buttons. Wasn't that right?
No, I did not do cryo freeze.
Oh, you were in the cryo freeze. That's right.
I was.
And then
I was the subject of that.
You blew your way out of it, even though we were healing you. That's right.
So, all right. So it's going to be 2 weeks. Thank you guys very much for playing. I hope you had fun. We will be having, as far as I can tell, we will be having Ben on with us in 2 weeks. He and I will work on a character that will fit in with the story and get him caught up with what's been happening, and give him enough time to watch any movies he hasn't seen yet. Was it a pretty good view, Ben?
It was great.
It was great.
He fell asleep now.
He's there. He's there.
Also, I won't be there in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're gonna be on your honeymoon. Okay.
Getting married?
Rob, can you turn off your camera?
Sure.
Hey, there's Ben. You're on mute, Ben. You're on mute.
Oh.
Now you're not on mute.
Hello?
Hey. No, I can hear you. I can hear you now. Okay, so we can. Now he's on mute. We heard you for a second.
Yeah. Oh, and I think he just left the call.
Yeah. No. Okay, so we will work out all the technical difficulties and make sure you go and have a character ready for him when he comes up in 2 weeks. Super ecstatic that we're going to have another player to join us here on MCU Tuesdays. I can't think of anything else. I think that Justin hit all of the high points, so make sure you get those subscriptions in. If you have any questions, feel free to hit us up. If you have any plot points, feel free to hit up Gamers Ledge. And with those plot points and things that you'd like to see on the show. And I think that's good.
Yep. Until
don't forget, you too can slide into those DMs on Twitter, where you can see Gamers Ledge via Twitter. Follow the Facebook page. Go to Gamers Ledge website. All links are down below on our twitch.tv/GamersLedge page.
Yep.
So be sure to slide into those DMs, put some plot points, donate some money, help fund me actually getting a green screen that covers all of my wall, not just part of it. And as soon as we get that, we'll be able to get a mic that works for him. But until you help a poor gamer in need, we can't get him a microphone to talk to us. So please do your part and game on.
He can talk to us, though.
Shh, don't know that.
Game on.
Game on.